Well, there's just whatever is happening or not. There's just what is, and what is already not separate. There are no different parts already. There is no dividing line. There is no one separate from what is to know what is. There's just simply what is. Even thinking that I'm separate from what is just what is. So this, as it is, can never be known because there's nothing separate from this to know this already. There's just this. Whatever that seems to be happening, thinking that there's something other than this is also just this. The seeking that seems to be happening, thinking, looking, searching, emotions, the body, the room, is just this already. There is no separation. So the seeker in the story, it may seem as if there is a real seeker who's seeking, who's getting closer, who's about to get it. But that's just the story. There is already no seeker to get anything, and there's nothing to get. There's just what's happening. What seems to be the seeker seeking for this is just what's happening. Is already not personal. There is already no real seeker who's seeking for this, who will eventually find this already. There's just this also expressing as that. And as well, the recognition that may seem to be happening or that may seem to happen doesn't belong to anyone. There can be a recognition that there's just this. There was already no seeker who was seeking. But there is no one who can actually recognize that there's just this. It can only be just what is this, recognizing that it has never been an individual, it has never been a seeker, it has always been itself as everything. So there is already no seeker who's seeking, and there's nothing to seek for. There's just what's happening, and what's happening is already empty. It's not happening to anyone, it's not happening for anyone. Yet there may seem to be a storyline They may seem as if there is a real faith who's getting somewhere. There's a faith who's facing some difficulties in life, who's living life, who was born one day, but that's just a story. There's already no faith who was born one day. There's already no faith who's seeking for anything. There's just this, as pressing as that already. So the seeker faith can never really fall away, can never really collapse, because faith as separate from this is already not there. It's just this already. There can be a recognition that there's just this. There's no faith, there's no seeker, and there's nothing to find. This can never be found because it's just this. It's this already. So it's never lost. It's already here or nowhere. So there's only everything. There's nobody to find everything. There's nobody who's seeking for everything. There's just simply everything. Also expressing as somebody who's seeking, somebody who thinks that is separate from everything. But that somebody is already everything. So there's no real separate somebody. It's already this, it's already everything. The longing itself to find this is already this. Thinking that there's somebody there is already this. Trying to find this is already this. There is never not this. And there's no one here who knows anything. And there's no one there who's even listening. There can be a listening happening, talking happening, which are already empty and full. There is only this. There is already no separation. Even what seems to be a separation is already this. Or the thought of separation is already that which is not separate already. So a thought of separation doesn't mean that it's not an evidence that there's a real separation. It's just that which is not separate, also expressing as a thought of separation. The emotions uh, are also that which is not separate, expressing as emotions. The body is already this. As well, labels. Labels are also an expression of this. This expressing as labels. So there is no future already. There is no past. There is no present. There can be opinions that may seem to be coming up saying there is a future, you know, in the near future, in the past, this and that happened, but those are just opinions appearing in this. Those are just coming up in this. It's just a story. The future, the past, the present is just a story also appearing in this. Tomorrow can never be reached. You can say tomorrow I will do this and that. Then when it's tomorrow, it's already today. So you can never reach tomorrow. Tomorrow will always, it's always gonna be tomorrow. Then when you try to reach tomorrow, it's already tomorrow. Then so all is imagined by no one. There's just this. This can never really be described. This is beyond any description because this is not a thing. It can never really be pointed at because there's nothing separate from it to point to it already. There's no one to point to this. There's no one to know this. There's no one to get this because there's just this. There's no separation. Separation is just a story. Looking for the way out is just a story. Trying to find this is just a story, which is already just this, as pressing as that.